Hey guys, another talented family was the Debarge family. Bobby Debarge was a member of that family. Bobby was born Robert Louis Debarge on March 5th, 1956, in Detroit, Michigan. His mother was a black woman, Etcheline, and his father was Robert Debarge, a Caucasian. It's been said that Bobby had an unhappy childhood because his father was abusive. Allegedly, he would physically abuse his wife and children, and there was also sexual abuse. Bobby was allegedly physically and sexually abused by his father more often than the others. His mother would often call the police on her husband, but nothing was done. She left him a number of times but had to go back. She was a black woman who was unemployed and she had 10 children at that time, so that would have been a struggle for her, I would imagine. When Bobby was 15, he was introduced to heroin and he became addicted. Bobby and his siblings had issues in their neighborhood because they were biracial. They went to church and they would sing. It helped them to escape the pain. His parents separated and divorced in the early 1970s, and his family relocated to Grand Rapids. He started playing in local bands with his younger brother Tommy. This family were talented musicians. They had that natural gift of music. In 1975, after teaming up with Grand Rapids musician Gregory Williams, they began a group with several other musicians. They auditioned for Barry White's background group and succeeded. Bobby played the piano. Barry White later went solo. Bobby did start working on a demo with his friends to try and get a record deal. Bobby got introduced to drugs, and when the other group members went to LA, Bobby stayed home. He was allegedly hooked on heroin and dropped out of the group. While in California, the other group members met Jermaine Jackson and his wife Hazel Gordy. They gave the demo to Jermaine, and within 24 hours, Jermaine told them he wanted to sign them. Bobby's friend Greg Williams asked Bobby to rejoin the group. Bobby got himself clean and went to LA. They performed for Motown's Berry Gordy, who was impressed with how they could switch to different instruments and lead vocals during the song, and that is how they got their name Switch. And Berry Gordy signed them to his label, Gordy Records, which included Bobby's brother Tommy. A year after their signing, the band released their debut album in 1978. It featured productions from Jermaine Jackson that reached gold status because of the song There Will Never Be, which was solely written by Bobby. It was also featured a favorite ballad of theirs, I Want to Be Closer, on which Philip Ingram and Bobby shared lead. They hit gold again the next year with Switch 2. This was another Jermaine Jackson produced album that included another hit written by Bobby and Gregory called I Call Your Name. Allegedly, this song was written about LaToya Jackson, since she and Bobby dated. According to loveoldschoolmusic.com, Gregory stated that all Bobby had on his mind during their writing session was LaToya. Switch was a performing and recording attraction. They were a great band overall, but their success was also due to Bobby's multi-octave vocal range. In 1980, the group had their third gold-selling album, This Is My Dream, which was the group's first album to not include any input from Jackson, and which the band's founding members, Bobby Debarge, Jody Sims, and Gregory Williams co-produced. The album included the hit Love Over and Over Again. Allegedly by then, Bobby had returned to using heroin after several years of being sober, and he also began using cocaine that caused tension in the group. In 1981, following the release of Switch's fifth album, Switch 5, Bobby Debarge suddenly left the group after Motown offered him a solo deal, which was later finalized in 1983. By then, Bobby was overseeing the production of his siblings' albums. Bobby co-produced their debut album and co-wrote with younger brother L the song Queen of My Heart, in which he performed falsetto ad-libs near the end of the recording. The track later reappeared on Bobby's third album in a special way. on which L himself produced, creating a more polished version of the song. Bobby had some issues producing his solo debut, and his solo career failed to pick up, so he joined his siblings' group, forming a revamped Debarge quartet that recorded the album Bad Boys. Bobby and his younger brother, James, split vocal leads on the project. It was said that when Bobby and LaToya broke up, he became depressed and his drug problem got even worse. It is also alleged that Bobby at some point was struggling with his sexuality. In 1988, Bobby was convicted of drug trafficking charges in Grand Rapids and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. When he got out, he returned to performing and recording. During this time, he was struggling with AIDS. Allegedly, while Bobby was in prison, he confided to his family that he contracted HIV. When he became very ill, his family sent him to a hospice in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Bobby Debarge died on August 16, 1995 at only 39 years old. He is buried at Garfield Park Cemetery in Grand Rapids. Bobby Debarge was a great talent that is not forgotten. Rest in peace, Brother Bobby.